In this video, we'll be going over the 10 hardest to complete achievements, which can be completed currently. And at number 10, we have the Holiday achievement, What a Long Strange Trip It's Been. Added in Wrath of the Lich King, this achievement was one of the only ways to get a Proto-Drake mount, and one of the only ways to get the 310% flying speed mount, as back then, there was no riding training for 310. Instead, you needed to obtain rare mounts that had 310 flying speed. This Violet Proto-Drake was rather easy to get compared to other things on this list. However, this is the only achievement with a year-long time lock. This achievement requires completing a ton of other achievements, each being the meta achievement for a holiday. Requiring Lunar Festival, which starts in January and lasts 2 weeks, requiring you to get 12 achievements to finish that meta. It also requires Love is in the Air, which begins in February and also lasts 2 weeks, requiring you to get another 12 achievements. Then in April for 1 week, we have Noble Garden, requiring 8 achieves. Children's Week beginning in May for, again, 1 week, requiring 6 achievements. One of them famously difficult, as it requires capturing a flag with your orphan in Eye of the Storm, and having to compete against the enemy faction and your own allies to get the flag, while everyone is also trying to get the achievement, which makes things quite difficult. Then we have Midsummer Fire Festival starting in June for 2 weeks, which requires another 6 achievements. Brewfest in September for 2 weeks, requiring 5 achievements. Hollow's End in October for 2 weeks, 11 achievements. And at the end of the year, there's Wintervale running in December for 3 weeks, requiring 11 achievements. And with that, that ends your year of farming, starting at the first month, ending at the last. Meaning it requires, no matter how hard you try, an entire year to complete. Hopefully you didn't miss an achievement or you have to wait another year to try again. With a total of 71 achievements required, limited to specific days year-round, this achievement had to be on this list, and the one to introduce such. It would be much higher on this list simply for the amount and the time required of an entire year. However, with each individual achievement being rather easy, and most of the work being simply waiting for the next holiday to begin, it only gets a low spot on this list. And at number 9, we have the biggest collectathon achievement, Horde of Hoofbeats. This achievement requires collecting at least 400 different mounts, all usable by one character. Added in BFA, this achievement is currently the final achievement in the Stable Keeper line, starting with 10 mounts, then 25, 50, 100, and so on, giving the Blue and Red Dragonhawk at 100 mounts, the Jade Pandaren Kite at 150, the Armored Dragonhawks at 200, the Fellfire Hawk at 250, the Heavenly Azure Cloud Serpent at 300, the Binding Frost Shard Infernal at 350, and then lastly, the Frenzied Fell Talon at 400. The reason this achievement is on this list is because of the time and dedication it requires to earn 400 mounts. Of course, there is far more than 400 mounts currently, but without years of constant grinding, mount collected, and gold spent on vendors, this mount and its achievement will stay out of your grip, at least until more free mounts are added. So for now, this achievement is the 400. But in Shadowlands, we might get a new one that requires 450 mounts or something. Then that new one will take this spot, as each new expansion adds a whole host of new mounts to get. And at number 8, we have 2 achievements, both tied for the spot as they fill the same role, but for different playstyles of the game, while both being very similar in their way of obtaining. Tons and tons of just doing content. And those are the 250,000 honorable kills and the 10,000 world quest completed achievements. 250,000 honorable kills is quite the feat, something that will take most players a decade or more to complete, as killing a total of 250,000 other players is something only some can even dream of. However, those who are truly dedicated to PvP or farm out specific styles of content may find this easier than others, while still taking a fairly long time. While the other, the 10,000 world quest completed, is difficult in nature because of just how new it is. Legion was the first expansion to add world quests, so to do 10,000 world quests in the current time, or even at all, is quite rough. There is also an achievement for 10,000 daily quests completed, but that is not on this list simply because of how much content there is that uses daily quests, all the way back to the Burning Crusade, meaning in a single day, someone could easily kick out 100 to 200 daily quests. However, currently, there are only so many world quests up at a time, and only a newer, longer content. Both of these are earned by just playing the game, but will take many years of playing to do so. And at number 7, we have the Hero of the Horde or Alliance achievement. This achievement is one granted to those who end the PvP season in the top 0.5% of the rated battleground ladder for their faction. Now, this is quite the difficult feat, requiring dedication, skill, and luck. Although, because of its nature, it's not higher on this list, as depending on your season, your class, and your faction, this can be either easy or really hard to obtain, all paired with PvP being hard to gauge in its difficulty in general. But it is really something few people have obtained over its many years, granting you a special title if you do so, as well as the Gladiator mount of that season. But that is more of a minor bonus, as the Gladiator mount is much easier to obtain. And at number 6, we have one I'm sure you all knew would be on this list, Insane in the Membrane. A feat of strength that has been in the game for many, many years. This requires you to get 6 reputations to Exalted and 1 at Honored. Now, I could list off the entire process for this, but that would make this video already much longer than it is, so here's a quick summary instead. First, you must get up Ravenhold by killing about 4,200 Syndicate members in Stromgarde until you are capped at the end of Honored, to which point you need to hand in heavy jump boxes for rep for the rest of the way to Exalted. 1,405 of them to be exact. At least if you're not a human, that is. Darkmoon Fair is self-explanatory. Just do stuff during the Darkmoon Fair to get the 10% rep buff. Bloodcell Buccaneer, you need to simply kill guards in Booty Bay to grant yourself Bloodcell rep, and lose your rep with the Goblin factions. Get this to Honored and you're done with that part. After that, you go kill some South Sea Pirates to get Exalted for Everlook, Booty Bay, Ratchet, and Gadgetson. Then you have the Feat of Strength, and the Insane title. It used to require you to be Honored with the Bloodcell and Exalted with all Goblin factions, but this has since been changed, so now you just have requiring having had both of them at some point, making this a lot faster to grind. So with that, this has gone a few spots down this list from where it may have once been. As to get the Bloodcell rep, it used to require you to kill one specific NPC, which only gave you 5 reputation a kill, as that was the only way to gain rep past Revered, and you had to get your rep to Exalted back then. So, it took 20 days of in-game playtime to get enough rep from that guy. Luckily, you don't have to do that anymore though. And at number 5, we have the PvP achievement Khan, and another like it. Khan is a battleground meta achievement that grants the Khan title, and you obtain it in a similar way to what a long strange trip has been, doing more meta achievements. Khan requires Master of the Battlegrounds for Gilneas, which in itself contains 13 achievements, Master of Isle of Conquest, 11 achievements, Master of the Twin Peaks, 12 achievements, Master of Silver Shard Mines, only 9 achievements, and lastly, Master of Temple of Katmagu, which requires 8 achievements, meaning a total of 53 achievements, which is less than what a long strange trip it's been, and not having the 1 year long requirement. It is higher on this list simply because it is PvP, and earning achievements in PvP is very difficult, simply because you never know how your enemies are going to play, and you may be moments from your achievement only for an enemy player to come in and mess it all up. This achievement is the 2.0 version of another one called the Battle Master, which required the Master achievements for the first 4 BGs added to the game, and this one required a similar amount of achievements, totaling in 31 for that one, granting you the Battle Master achievement. Both of these being long and painful journeys of constant close calls, your enemy messing things up, or even your own teammates stealing objectives from you, easily earning its top spot on this list. And at number 4, we have one of, if not the longest single grind in the game, Honor level 500. I will simply start by saying to get to Honor level 500 requires 4,400,000 Honor, which is a pretty big number for you non-PvPers out there. This grind is something very, very few people have completed. Most of those that have it are likely people who exploited a few known bugs, like the Darkshore pre-patch honor trading to do so, as to earn this currently, the only way to do it is to play PvP every single hour of every single day for almost a year. This was added in BFA, but people could get somewhat of a head start by having done PvP and gotten prestigious ranks in Legion when the PvP leveling system was introduced. Honor levels are something that just happens passively by doing PvP, first giving some rewards every 5 levels, like pets, toys, titles, mounts, and then moving to every 10, then every 25, and then every 100, ending with the penultimate prestigious Bloodforger Courser, a unique mount with an insanely nice appearance, an insane achievement, earned by less than 0.1% of the community. And now we're on to the final 3. And first, we will start with a simple one to explain, the 100 Exalted Reputations achievement. Now, I don't need to tell you, but getting 100 different reputations to Exalted is very difficult, especially right now, as currently there are only a couple more reputations than required for the achievement. So, earning this requires doing tons of grinding, dailies, gold spent, and overall just, a huge time investment over the course of every single expansion, as Vanilla has 28 reps, TBC has 16 for the Alliance, 17 for Horde, Wrath has 10, Kata has 7, Mop has 14, WoD has 8, Legion has 10, and BFA has 8, leaving us with a grand total of 102 reputations if you add the guild reputation. 103 if you got Shindalar or Zandalar tribe before they were removed. So currently, this achievement is only obtainable if you do every single rep to Exalted, with a leeway of 2 reps. However, with time, as more reputations are added to the game, this will become easier and easier. However, Blizzard is sure to add more rep achievements to the game, and with this, harder versions of this achievement, that will fit into the spot, as some reps like Ravenhold or Gorilla are super annoying and time consuming to farm. And at number 2, we have Warlord of Draenor, giving you the Warlord of Draenor title. This achievement was added with Warlords of Draenor, and has a simple requirement of killing a few of every single enemy race, as well as winning a fight in the High Mall Coliseum. Now, to be serious, winning a fight in the High Mall Coliseum is pretty easy, so I'm not even going to talk about that. What makes this achievement hard, though, is the other requirement, completing the Nemesis quests. These quests are picked up at the Gladiator Sanctum, a building you need to make in your garrison, and once made, you could pick up a quest of your choosing. Now, this is important. You could only pick up one quest at a time. You could not pick up multiple, and each quest required you to kill 500 of that one race while you're on Draenor before you can hand it in and pick up another quest. Meaning, for Horde, for example, you would need to kill 500 Draenei, then 500 dwarves, then 500 gnomes, 500 humans, 500 night elves, 500 Pandaren, and then 500 worgen, each granting a title like Draenei Destroyer, the Dwarf Stalker, etc., etc. I don't know if I need to say it, but killing 500 of every single race is hard enough. But to have to do them one at a time means to even complete one part requires thousands to 10,000s of kills, especially since some races like the Gnomes, Goblin, and Pandaren are so rare. And especially now with allied races, to find and kill this many is insane. Pair that with the fact that all of this needs to be done on Draenor. While Draenor added no new BGs, it did add an epic PvP arena, Ashran, which was then made into the epic BG that is basically the only place you can do it now. Pair that with a massive amount of people hating Ashran, meaning this grind alone can take months to years of grinding in Ashran based on your luck and time commitment. Especially since there's no good way to abuse this, as killing one of these races gives that person a 5-minute debuff, meaning you can't get credit from them again. So you can't even hunker down with a friend to kill them over and over, as that will take you 42 hours to do just one, meaning the full grind. If you did it this way, it would take you 294 hours. Completing this is something very few people have done and ever will do, and this will likely never become easier, and may become even harder with more races and allied races added to the pool, lowering the amount of each of the current races you'll be able to find in Ashran. And last but not least, number 1, the most widespread achievement I've ever seen and well deserving of the spot, as this achievement requires Mythic Plus, raiding, battlegrounds, reputations, war mode, Mechagon, raided PvP, island expeditions, Heart of Azeroth levels, and Nazjatar questing. And I doubt some of you will even know that this feat of strength even exists, and it is the Phenomenal Cosmic Power. Now, we are about to list off everything you need to do in order to get this achievement, simply because it is number 1, so this might take a while. This achievement is granted to you by collecting every single Azerite essence for 1 spec at Legendary Rank 4. Rank 4 essences are very hard to obtain, as they come from the hardest and most rare content, as the ranks 1 to 3 actually give power. Blizzard made them a bit easier to obtain, while rank 4s only give a cosmetic upgrade, meaning all of the effects are much more appealing, so they have to make the rank 4 much more difficult, to the point where many people don't even have a single rank 4 yet. The first comes from neck levels, all 4 ranks coming from leveling your Azerite neck to specific thresholds, followed by a short quest line with a specific dragonflight, the legendary rank coming at level 70. Next is the Mythic Plus Essence, requiring you to do a Mythic 4, 7, and then run a few every week for a while, depending on how high of a key you did, speeding up this process at max, reducing it to 2 weeks if you do a 15 plus each week. After doing that, you need to earn rank 4 by completing every Mythic Plus dungeon at level 15, in the given amount of time. Then spend 800 Titan Residuum to purchase it. There's also the Raiding Essence, which requires killing bosses in the Internal Palace raid every week for upwards of months, depending on what difficulty you do. Higher difficulties make it go by faster, as you get items to craft ranks 1, 2, and 3. After that, you need to kill Mythic Ajara, and with that, about 3 people will get the rank 4 Essence. Meaning not only do you have to do Mythic Ajara, a boss less than 2% of the player base has killed currently, you also need to hope you win the drop for yourself. Next is the basic PvP Essence, requiring you to do Battlegrounds, Epic Battlegrounds, PvP Islands, and weekly brawls to earn honor. This being best done on easy brawls and during weekly Battleground bonus honor events. Because for ranks 2 and 3, you need 10,000 and 30,000 honor. But then to get rank 4, you need a total of 100,000 honor, which is 3 times the grind required for rank 3. The next 2 essences will be included together as they're basically the same. The 2 essences require reputations with the 8.2 reps and Nash'Tatar Mechagon. Ranks 1 through 3 requiring Honored, Revere, and Exalted, and the vendor cost of mana pearls or Mechagon crafting materials depending on the rep. In the coming 8.3, this is going to be lowered by 1 rep level each, making it much easier to get rank 3s. However, the rank 4s for those 2 reputations essences come from the Paragon caches. These caches are earned once you get to Exalted and get 10,000 rep on top of that. You can then turn in the quest to get yourself a cache, and inside you have a chance to get your legendary essence. Now, for the War Mode Essence, this essence requires you to do a fair few amount of War Mode based objectives, from killing up to 50 players in Mechagon and Nash'Tatar, getting supply chests, and competing in the battle for Nash'Tatar, to spending 5 weeks doing both weekly Call to Arms quests. Those simply earn you ranks 1 through 3. After that comes the real grind of getting rank 4. First, you need to kill 10 members of the enemy faction in Nash'Tatar to become an assassin. At this point, you need to loot 25 supply chests in Nash'Tatar. These chests being crates that are dropped off by airships that fly over the zone every 45 minutes. Once these chests land, they are fought over by both factions, and whoever is able to open the crates claims it for their faction, requiring at least 19 hours of doing this. However, if you die while trying to get the chest, or get a bounty and then rush down, you need to go and kill 10 more enemy players before the next airdrop, or that airdrop won't count for the achievement and the time waiting will have been wasted. Then, once you have looted your 25th chest, you are able to go and buy the rank 4 essence. Next is the Operation Mechagon part, this one requiring 6 weeks of clearing Mechagon to get ranks 1 through 3. However, you can shorten that to 4 weeks if you do hard mode Mechagon for the last 2 weeks. Then, after you do that, you need to get the achievement Hurt's Locker, which means doing the entire hard mode Mechagon with 0 deaths. This is quite hard because of the many one-shot death mechanics, long overall dungeon, and minor mess-ups leading to deaths. If you're able to get this achievement, you get yourself a legendary rank 4 version of the Perfection Essence. Next one being the Lucid Dream Essence. To get rank 4, it requires getting all 3 of your bodyguards in Nash'Tatar to level 30, which takes a really long time of dailies and rare farming for experience item drops. Next is Conflict and Strife. This essence is pretty unique in that it grants you an extra PvP talent. That can even be used in PvE. Ranks 1 through 3 are earned simply by doing your weekly 500 conquest point PvP caches for a few weeks, and reaching at least 1000 PvP rating in Arena or RBGs. Like the Mythic Plus Essence, this takes at least 4 weeks if you do some of the highest level content, but can take up to 17 weeks if you do the bare minimum. Then to get rank 4, you need to reach the Elite PvP rank, which requires reaching 2400 rating in arenas or RBGs. And for the last one, we have Worldvine's Boon, which comes from Island Expeditions, requiring some mission table missions, doing your weekly Island Expedition cap for a few weeks, which will grant you ranks 1 through 3 pretty quickly. However, like many of the others, rank 4 is a very rare drop, this time from the treasure maps you get weekly for completing your Island Expedition Azerite cap. Get the map and hope it's rank 4, send it off, and in a few days your final rank 4 essence will be there waiting for you. And that is the end of the long list of things you need to do for, in my opinion, the hardest achievement in the game currently. requiring you to do all of the playstyles, other than pet battles sadly, to gather this one massive feat, granting you a feat of strength and the titles Azeroth Champion. Alright, and that's the end of the video. Are there any harder to gain achievements that I may have missed? Or do you have ideas for future videos just like this one? I'd love to hear about them down in the comments. And also, special thanks to my editor Felplague for researching and putting this video together. Links to their channel and Twitter will be in the video description if you want to check them out.